Hey guys, so a building block company named Funwhole recently reached out to me for a review of one of their products. I've seen that brand floating around over the past few years, and I've been kind of curious about the brick quality and all that, since a lot of their designs show a lot of creativity and style that's just been lacking with certain other building block brands lately. So I said yes, and they excitedly sent me the Cyberpunk apartments to review. So the box is a lot heftier than I was expecting and thicker too. It's definitely high quality. Inside you can see we have thick manuals and a bunch of familiar parts bags. There's also of course a Funwhole branded brick separator, which will be fun to test out. I was sort of expecting the parts to mirror regular Lego parts one for one, but you can see here that some parts are a little interesting, but there's a reason for that, which we'll get into later. We also have a bag of characters and we'll take a look at them, but first let's build this thing. And here's the final result with everything all lit up. I have to say the included light kit was absolutely fantastic. And one of the things that I really liked was that the set was built around the light kit, as you can clearly tell by all the numerous lights on display here. So here's the set with the lights turned on. Now this set is massive, much bigger than it looks even in the picture on the box. And in fact, it's so big that it actually goes outside my display area here. This thing is, I would say, on scale with, say, maybe an addition to the Ninjago City lineup from Lego. Yeah, it's a great build. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the more individual aspects of the set. So first up, we have the chef's little snack stand here. During the day, I guess, he runs a little snack stand here where one of his customers is about to pay him a visit. He does own this garage next door, which, if you turn a knob on the side, you can open that door and see the little chair that he uses in the background, but we'll get into that in a second. And another thing that I really like about this set is the vending machine right here. It has a lot of neat accessories inside, as well as a character in here who's about to give it a kick, because as you can see, it's in system failure right now. So there's plenty of delicious food inside, but unfortunately the characters are not able to get to it. And if we turn to the back, you can see the steps which the residents use to access the upper levels of the city, as well as a door which can access the snack stand, and then this ladder which I guess leads to the security camera. And then also, more importantly, we have this back wall which we can remove to reveal the chef's alternate identity. And that is this somewhat deranged guy who apparently works on machines like motorcycles, and alternatively gives people cybernetic prosthetics. And then right next to the garage, you can see also the control box for the lights. You have the option of plugging it directly into the wall via USB adapter like I've done here, where you can turn the switches on and off. Or there's also this battery box included, which actually plugs into the wall right here so that you can put some batteries in, plug it in, and light your set that way if you don't have an electric outlet nearby. And then one of the characters that I really like is in the background here. This is probably my favorite one from the whole set. It's just the dog with some cybernetic cyborg printing on him here. Is he a dog? Is he a robot? I don't know, but he looks pretty neat. So, and that brings us up to the next level of the apartment complex, and you can see that there's an apartment here with a sliding door. Unfortunately, the sliding door does tend to stick a little bit, and so if you're not careful, you can knock the handle off, which is unfortunate. I really love the little neon lighting thing here, and I'm excited to use that maybe in other custom builds. You can also walk up the platform here and access this area, which is, I guess, a walkway, which could lead to other parts of the build if Funwhole ever releases, say, maybe another building. And if you're wondering why the bracket pieces are so oddly shaped, it's actually because this allows them to have wires pass through. There's a little notch here, and then of course another one which you can't see on the other side of the bracket. But yeah, that little notch allows wires to pass underneath and through, and while obviously not every bracket is utilized that way, it's still a really neat design idea. You can also access the apartment back here by opening up the door. This guy is the hacker of the set. This is his little lair here. Off to the side, which you can't really see, is his computer monitor setup, which I think is really clever. That also has a junction box for some of the wires of the set here, so it kind of looks like some of the wires are actually just part of his computer setup. And that brings us to the upper level of the set here, and you can see this is the main apartment, I guess, and the spot where if I was a figure, I would be spending the most time. And then we have the apartment here with, unfortunately, a door which just flops open. There's not a lot of clutch power, I guess, on the hinges, so that's unfortunate. because otherwise the set does have some great part quality. But there are some pieces like this door where the quality just isn't there. But I mean, for one piece out of 2,500, I'd say that's pretty good. So I've disconnected this level from the rest of the set just so that we can get a little clearer look at the interior here. And you can see here's apparently the character in the city who designs all the prosthetics for the other characters. I don't know if any of the prosthetics that she has, which you can see in the background there, are actually wearable for these characters, or if these are just for those Star Wars battle droids. But yeah, that's basically her job here, and you can see she also has a fun little workbench with more droid parts as well as some diagrams. There's what appears to be some sort of transformer through the window there, which is maybe where she gets her power from. And then of course a ladder up to the little loft here where she sleeps. And in case you're curious, here's a closer look at the exterior of the apartment as well as that scraggly little tree, which has some neat red leaf pieces, which we don't see in LEGO just yet. I do really love the window designs here, and at some point in my own city, I'd love to design like a little apartment complex like this, because it's very neat. I really like it. And then moving up to the roof here, you can see some more of the designs for the power generator and all what have you up here. Lots of cool designs with the pipes and the satellite and antenna displays and all that. So now let's talk value. Is this thing worth it? And I would say even if I had paid $170 with, like I said, this thing was given to me for review, so I got it for free. But is it worth $170? I would say so, especially since, you know, if this was a LEGO set, it has 2,500 pieces and a fully integrated light kit, so you'd be looking at probably in the $300 range. So I would say this is a great deal. Now, part quality, in some cases, it's not up to par. I mean, especially with the door here. But like I said, one piece out of 2,500 that's bad. You know, that's not terrible. This thing is, I would say, definitely worth it. These pieces are all fully LEGO compatible. In fact, if you wanted to swap out the figures from the set and replace them with minifigures, you could. And it would be great. I mean, the scales, the proportions, it's all exactly the same. I have to say, having grown up with LEGO minifigures, I'm not quite used to these characters just yet. Maybe a little bit more like Playmobil figures rather than regular LEGO minifigures. You can see the LEGO minifigures are a bit more blocky, whereas these are a little more round. They do still have a charming shape, and the only thing that I really don't like about them is their heads. Their heads are kind of a little concave here. They kind of are like little cones that start out wider at the base with an obvious rim and then, you know, end up a little narrower at the top. It just kind of looks goofy with the hair pieces because then they don't wrap fully around. And the other thing that I don't like, which is a minor nitpick, is the hands. They are right and left oriented, which means that when you're putting these little guys together, you have to make sure that you're putting the right hands in. And I'm not even entirely sure if I got them right. I'm not sure if this is actually a left hand and the right hand or what. Not a huge deal, but that was just something kind of minor that I felt about the set. So yeah, final thoughts are that this is a great set, and I would highly recommend picking it up if you have the cash lying around. Big thank you to Funwhole for sending this to me. It was a really fun project to put together and review, so yeah, I really love how this turned out, and this is something that I'm going to be putting on display and keeping there. I also have my eye on some of the other Funwhole items, like some of their cabins or their little city buildings. Those look pretty cool, so might pick those up at some point as well. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that other good stuff. Feel free to check out the other videos on my channel, and we will see you guys next time.